Good evening to everyone present in this wonderful gathering. During this beautiful evening, filled with the colorful demonstrations of verbal parade and intellectual symphony, I feel very much honored to introduce our next speaker. We have among us a person of multiple excellence pertaining to academics. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Dr. Amulya Kumar Acharya. His credentials might not be able to fit in the decorative gallery of his home. I myself feel the same when I venture to state them all for your information. Yet I will try with my limited capacity to comprehend and present the same. Dr. Amulya Kumar Acharya is an assistant professor in Fakir Mohan University at Vyasa Vihar, Balasore. He has a teaching and serving experience for many years at various institutions and universities. He had presented more than 82 papers in different national and international seminars, workshops, and conferences as a presenter and a speaker. He has also published more than 20 of his notable works in journals of national and international repute and 5 chapters in edited volumes. He has also served and serves as a member of many academic bodies such as the BOS and SRC of PG Department of Education, Fakir Mohan University, and member of BOS, Ravenshaw University, Qatar. He is also a member in professional bodies like All India Association of Educational Research and the Indian Association of Teacher Educators, etc. Apart from this, he is an honorable member of the editorial board for many national and international journals. Doctor, we are very much privileged to have your good self amongst us. I invite you to take over the dais. Welcome, sir.
Team uh, Organizing Secretary, Principals of Muhammad Sathak College of Arts and Science, Chennai, and in collaboration with the Cape Comorin Trust India, that I'm thankful to be a part of this international virtual faculty development program on ethics in research and publication, and all the respected coordinators from both the institutions, organizing secretary of both the institutions, and my fellow participants and colleagues, those who are present here. So far as this topic is concerned, that there were many topics. Out of that, I was asked to take a topic that art of selecting thesis topic. So this topic is very easy, but when as a beginners, many of us, particularly our students, those who starts projects from undergraduate level or dissertation work at postgraduate level, so they face a lots of problem while selection of a problem or selecting a thesis topic. It's a Herculean task. Many researchers, many young researchers, that they ask, sir, what topic I will take? How to select a topic? I'm not finding a topic. They just give a broad topic, broad areas, but they never find a particular topic and well identified a topic or which can be research work. So selecting a problem, thesis topic or research problem is an art, and one must have the knowledge how to select a suitable topic, relevant topic, and well-defined topic, which can be, he has to undertake the research. Is my slides are visible?
Yes, sir.
Excuse
Yes,
me?
sir, they are visible.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
very good.
They are visible.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's very much visible, Professor. You can carry on.
So why we select a topic? So before going to selection a topic, we must understand there are different steps of research. The first and foremost important aspect is selection and statement and definition of a problem. So selection of a topic is very important to fill a felt needs. That identifying a problem. Identifying a problem is the first and foremost work of a researcher or a scholar that we must understand. And these are the steps of research that first we select, then we stated it, Then we defined it. Then after selection, for selection of problem, then we go through the different literature, that what are the ways we have to see according to our statement of the problem. And you know that in a broad areas, when we think a broad area, then we go through the literature, then we select. There are different ways, but the ideal thing is that you just think a broad areas, go through the literature, then find out the gap, then identify the problem. That is the way that I shall discuss later on. Then we formulate hypothesis, collection of research information and data, analysis, then analysis and interpret the data, then generalization and establishment of conclusion or research report we write. So these are the steps generally, and there is a deviation subject to subject in arts and humanities, social science, that even if in science there is a variation, there is no standard steps that you cannot say this is the watertight like that we have to follow. That we just change the order some extent in depending on the nature of the topic and subject sometimes. But mostly we follow a same standard or little bit variation. It depends on the nature of the state or universities according to their subject research committee or university research committee, whatever the standard they follow. But the research is same, that we have to follow a general procedure. Then we do the research work. Then what is the research problem? Let us discuss. There are so many definitions of research problem. That research problem are the issues or controversies or concerns that guide the need for conducting a study. That any issues, many controversies, any concerns that we can undertake that as a problem, which must felt need that. Then before going to discuss the research problem or identifying a research topic, we should know what are the definitions. Hillway, he has defined the research problem must be determines that the scope of the problem neither too broad nor too certain. And I have seen many people, they have included so many variables in the title, very broad, and which they should limit in their delimitation, or they have to define later on, but they have mentioned everything. So which is very broad. That title must not be very broad or very short. Even if there are variables are not there, that what you are going to do. Sometimes if you see that the problem will look like it's a conceptual topic, not a research topic, what the topic is. The research topic must determines, must be understood what you are going to do or what is there in your topic and what you are going to express problems in specific questions which certain answer is possible. In problems that it must explain that certain questions arising in your mind which you are going to answer later on, and limitations the problem in such a way that which aspect and elements are not associated with the problems, they are clearly separated from problems. All these terms which is specific and which is used in problem, that you must define, and in the research problem, whatever you are taking or whatever you are keeping, that you have to define later on. And before identifying research problem, there are certain questions which arises in our mind. What is the specific controversy or issue that I need to address? Why is the problem important? If that is there, if the answers are there, if it is already explored, then why we should take? That must be a problem. That must be issue. That must, we need to address those issues. That must be felt need. How will my study add to what we already know about this problem? That you know in review, that whatever we have got or studied and what is not explored, that we have to do it. And who will benefit from what I learn about this problem? That as you know, now UGC also, that ICSR, all the research bodies, those who are providing grants. They need the research which is socially useful. The research which is must be benefit to the common people or the community. That must be benefit to the stakeholders. Such problem we should identify. Can and should problems be reached? So this is very problematic. So many people, what they do, many researchers, they take such a topic, they never reach. They never reach in that question. So how to assess that? Can you gain access to the people and sites? You have taken such a big area, such a topic which is not accessible. That you must be accessible and that you must be reachable, whatever the problem you are taking in your research topic or in your dissertation. Can you find time, locate resources, use your skills? And the topic you have taken such a way, such a topic which requires 1 year. Say for an example, in third semester, one research topic is identified, research proposal is given, only 6 months or 5 months or 4 months one is getting. So is it possible to complete the research work within that time period? That we have to be keep in mind while we are selecting a topic or sample size, whatever it is. And locate resources, whether the resources are available, if it's a science topic, if it is literature, that open access journals are there, whether you can access all these things near to you, and whether you are capable to conduct research work in that particular field, you are skillful, you are efficient to do or conduct the research. That also is must be taken into consideration while we are taking a research topic or selecting a dissertation topic. Should the problem be researched? Is it researchable? That is another question mark. But there are some ways whether you should research a problem. So what are the ways? The first way, study the problem if your study will fill a gap or void in the existing literature. So we are not many researchers, young researchers, what they do not study the related literature minutely. So they do not find the gaps as per the variables, as per the components, as per their objective. So they have to find out the research gap, what are there, what are the existing literature, so what is available and what they have to explore. Study the problem if your study replicates a past study. Many I have observed. My students, master degree, those who are doing M.Ed or MA education, what they are doing, just they are taking a topic of 2 years back of their seniors and they are getting a dissertation. Sometimes they are preparing proposal which have already taken by some other persons or nearby colleges or nearby universities. They are collecting such topic. So it's not ethics that many of us, that many scholars, many researchers, young researchers, what they are doing, they are just copying a dissertation of others. Also many, what they are doing, they are taking from the open access. That I have got some of my 1 or 2 students, we have got them, that everything they have copied. They have copied. So why they have copied? They have not studied minutely the research methodology, or that problem is not identified by them, and the process and procedure of research work, they are not aware how to proceed, how to work. So they are going through the shortcut method. So that you should not study the problem if your study replicates a past study, but examines the different participants and different research sites. You can take, if that study is there in Odisha, you can take in Tamil Nadu, or you can take in Andhra Pradesh, can take in West Bengal. But the samples are different, geographical conditions are different, the medium of instructions are different, the teachers' training and other things are different. So that depends on the areas that you can take. But they're not the same one which are already taken by someone. You can take different areas, different sample size that you can conduct. Study the problem if your study extends the past research or examines the topic more thoroughly. The very important aspect of a research problem that we have to study the past research thoroughly and examines the topic more thoroughly. What are the available resources? How I can proceed the problem as for the, if it is applied research or action research or fundamental, whatever it is, then how I can proceed. Whether it's a historical topic or it's a experimental, you are following the experimental method, or you are tracking a survey or any that qualitative, whatever it is, that you have to follow. Study the problem if your study gives voice to people's silence, that those who are not visible, not heard, and rejected in the society. Many students, they are asking me, sir, just give me a title, give me a topic. I am going to select the research topic and prepare proposal. Then I ask, you just tell me your area where there are different papers you are studying. Then you just tell me which paper, which topic, which subject you like most. That is the rich background you have, what you know. Then you just go through the broad areas and what have been studied already. Say for an example, someone is going that disadvantaged section of the society. Then according to the social category, disadvantaged section, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, even if it's some minorities, rural population, women's, so many areas are there. So again, you have to identify which disadvantage. That way, because the research is always very specific, it is very objective. Disadvantage means you are not going to study all. That many are in the title, they are writing disadvantage section. What is disadvantage? If you are defining, are you going to study all the disadvantage section? That you have to specify. And the people, those who are silenced, not heard, or rejected in the society. Study the problem if your study informs practice. There are some practice that is going on, that is already exists. The people are involved. Go for experiential learning. That what is already available, the knowledge is available. Indian, say for an example, now you know our government is giving stress on Indian knowledge system. That our rich history, that our customs, traditions. So everything is there. So what you have to do, that you have to already its practice are there. So you have to find out that what can we extract out of that, what practice is going on. Then before going to select a research topic and a title of the dissertation, the very important characteristics of a good research topic, that your topic must be interesting one. That means it must be a felt need, it must be importance of societal importance, it must have educational importance, it must have individual, it must fulfill the individual issues, and you must identify the individual issues, societal issues, and the topic must be interesting one. Some students, they take such topic which is not interesting to explore, which is himself taken a topic which is not interested according to his own ideas and ideals and potentialities. That he is not interested but chosen a topic. It will hold your interest throughout the entire research process. If the topic is very interesting, if the topic is relevant, then what will happen? That you will get energy to work. You will get interest to work. You will be motivated to work. And you will be able to complete quickly. If that is interesting. Your topic is researchable. That many students, they ask, some few days back, one of my students said, sir, I will take a topic that attitude of teachers towards implementation of NEP. I said, what you will get? If you will get the negative attitude, If government is going to change the policy, already it is implemented. That is the state. Now it is the state, they have to implement full phase. Already it has been enacted. So what you will get, positive or negative? What will be the contribution for the society? So such topic, which is, I don't think that just attitude, these are the researchable, not now, actually in 21st century, such topic, many of my students, I discourage them, don't take that attitude, either positive or negative or moderate attitude you will get. What you will get out of that? Attitude towards girls' education. What you will get? Co-education. What you will get? So the topic must be researchable. It must be investigated through the collection and analysis of data, which is not stated as an effort to determine what should be done. Not what should be done. You have to take a topic which is researchable and you will get its outcome, output. Your topic must be significant. It must be useful. Your contributions that will improve and understand, it will be improve the practitioners. You will develop some theory, educational theory. It may be any. If it is literature, that you can also extract some theory. If it is a social science, you can develop some hidden things which is not explored. If from the society, from particular groups or ethnicity groups, that you can do. Understanding particular practice or theory, that it will help, your research work will help, which is not explored, which is not known, or which is there already, but it is not visible. Your research work will show them this is the thing. Your topic must be ethical. Sometimes we choose such a topic which is not as per the rules and regulations of the society, which is not having ethical values, and it is not as per the constitutional values, environmental values. So take such a topic which will involve practices and strategies that may embrace which may not involve practices or strategies that may embrace or harm participants. Your topic is manageable. That means you can manage it. Such topic you are taking, it will fit to your levels. Available resources are there, and time restriction, you can complete it as per the availability of time. You have to calculate a timeline. You have to make how many days it will take for preparation of questionnaire or interview schedule, and how many days it will take for construction of test or standardized test if you are doing, or preparing questionnaires, how many times, for adopting it, for data collection, how many days you will take. After that, for tabulation, how many days you will take. Then for analysis and interpretation, writing reports, reviewing, everything, a timeline is very important, and you have to take such a topic, and your sample size, areas, everything you will take in such a way as you will be able to complete as per the time, available time. So how you will select a topic? That sources of problem. It's quite important. Many students, they ask me that, you might have, all my colleagues, those who are here, those who are working in different institutions, they might have faced the same. And that very clearly I am telling you that as madam was discussing regarding research ethics, my previous speaker, that ethics you cannot find in most of the students, 80 to 90% students. And the research research, even if now in few days back in Kalyan, University of Kalyan, that the professor also, that 90% of the PhD research thesis, the materials are copied from the previous scholar who has been awarded 5 years or 6 years back. And he is a professor, dean of the department. If such people are doing, you just see, what about the students? What about the scholars? And I have seen in many places what they do, they just take name, change the name, that some extent the titles they change, area they change, and everything you will get same. That happens. So sources of problem, if you take a source problem, choose a problem rightly, then definitely you need not to copy. What they do, what we do, generally the teachers gives topic. And the students, the students may not have interest in that topic. Students may not be capable to do the work in that topic. That may not be his interest areas, or he is not conversant with the research work, how to proceed. So this is a problem that what we have to do, that the process of education or do other types of education based completing experience is a main means in the develop curiosity, conflicts, produce problem before them autonomous. Where we are working, say for an example, in our workplace, we can conduct research. Among the students, we can conduct research. Where we reside, we can conduct research. Then what is in our syllabus, the curriculum, what is being taught, that from there we can conduct research. The activities, what we undertake, that we can conduct research. The library, the way the students are using library, we can conduct research. So take a topic that it may seems to that very easy, but when question may arise, many question arises in our day-to-day life, in our process of education, in our conflicts of experience, the managerial skills of the different head of the institutions, and that creates curiosity in our mind. Also, sometimes it conflicts. Also, that comes to our mind that produce a problem automatically. Say for an example, I was teaching in a Christian Catholic institutions in my beginning of the career. So my head of the department, Dr. Anthony, he said that Mr. Acharya, you take a career guidance and career counseling, a special paper you have to teach. I had special paper guidance and counseling, but that topic was something different. Then when I took that particular paper, I taught and studied different literature, because there was no book that time in 2001 and 2. Not a single book was published in that. Now there are many books in career guidance and career counseling. So what I did by teaching, while I was searching some open access, different books and thinking, sometimes also I used to write the notes for the students, because there was nothing, no books, no textbook. And that was English medium institutions. And one publisher only published in Hindi. So the students, they required English book, textbook. So I wrote. So while I was writing, then many things comes to my mind. And I decided, so this can be a topic that while I was teaching the career guidance, then career talk, career conference, and all these things, then it came to mind that I took career maturity as my research topic. So research topic, say for an example, one is Indian writing in English. One English teacher teaching Indian writing in English. So he is experts in that particular field, while by the time of teaching, so he can undertake many things which is not explored. And that various context he can analyze that of a particular writer. So the topic can be a source that what you are teaching, that will develop curiosity by the time you teach, and you can get so many topics out of your content. Second main source is research, dissertation, management. That main source is given in the end of the suggestion for further study. You might have 5th survey, 6th survey, and 7th survey of educational research, particularly those who are from education background. So you can go through the different dissertation, that suggestions for further study, that what that researcher could not study or could not cover, and these are the areas one can study, one can take up on particular study, that can be research topic. In the end of the dissertation, a list of suggestions that is given, and that we can take all those things. By studies of this problem can be find out. And research work already completed, and its gist or its short form, by observe it, intellectual can find out many problems. In our educational topic particularly. So there are review of research, educational research, which is published. And you can take also, you know, that AIU, they publish also different research topics. So out of that, we can get an idea what are the current trends and what are the research, and we can observe the intellectuals and their gists. And also you can study the abstract of some journals and some publications. You can go through and you can get the new ideas which is not explored, the work is not done, and they have done and which is left out, and that can be a source of problem for you. You can take a problem. And the fourth main resources is to find out that the area which has been avoided right now, and on them there has no work has been done so far. I just see that many of my students, they complain, sir, I have gone through the different journals, open access publication, literature, but I could not find out a single research work has been done or conducted in this particular topic. But that it is there in our syllabus, at least you have to write 10 national reviews and 10 international reviews. So how I can submit my reviews, the topic which I have chosen, there is no research work in the national or in international. But that can be a research work. The policy documents, that can be a research work. What you get, that you are, there are different policy documents. There are different official orders, which the implementation part that is not known, because recently it has been implemented. So its effectiveness, how it works, if you ask that Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or midday meal program, you can find hundreds of research work, because already it has been started since last 20 years. Every year all over India, that master degree students, they are conducting. If you see that language problems, reading, writing, speaking, listening, these skills, that you can get so many. But there are some areas which is not available, that you need, that you can go, that you can take up on. Then how does the research problem differ in qualitative and quantitative research? Both is different. For research problem, you have to think, you have to take a qualitative one or quantitative one. Because the quantitative research is measuring variables, that relationship with variables. And assess the impact of these variables on an outcome. What is the impact of the variables? Test theories or broad explanation. What are the theory says and what the result comes. And you are relating and discussing the results based on the theories, based on the previous researches, and apply results to a large number of people. That you are collecting samples from 400, 600, 200, hundreds, what that is universally that you are applying, and results to a large number of people that is applied. And qualitative research, learn about the views of individuals. You might have heard Kazi Nazrul is one of the great poet that from Bengali poet, written so many poems and write-off. So one of my colleagues, he took some of the poems and critical analysis, socio, cultural, economic, and religious aspects. What are there? That is there. Poems are there. He has written in Bengali. And the researcher is analyzing it in different way, for each and every word he has used, in what context he has used. So views of the individual, that can come up. Say for an example, you know that Odisha is a tribal dominated state, more than 20 to 23% of tribals and 63 dialects that tribal language they use. So here many research studies have been not be conducted to their multilingual context, how they learn, how they behave, how they live. So you can, what is their traditions, customs that, madam was discussing regarding ethnographic studies and all. So all these things can be taken in qualitative research. Such topic we can take. Assess a process over time. A process is going on over a particular time. Its effective you take. It's a effectiveness or influence, or it's a impact, how it's impact. That how it is, how far it is going on. A particular customs, traditions, or something like that. We can take a qualitative research. Generate theories based on participant perspectives. The participants' views, majority of participants' views, that you can develop a theories based on the response of the participants. Obtain detailed information about a few people or research sites. So you can also take a such research problem, which information you are getting from the research sites, or the few people's information about a few people you are getting, that you are going to take as a research problem. So apart from that, if you go and see that how to evaluate a research problem, the evaluation of research problem is very important. That you have taken a research, whether the research is really researchable, is the problem is new, is the problem is significant, is the problem is feasible for the researcher in context of research competencies, interest and enthusiasm, financial consideration, time requirements, administrative consideration. Sometimes my scholars, they ask, sir, I would like to take this topic. Then I used to tell them, you are master degree students, don't take such topic. If you are taking this topic, minimize the sample, minimize the variables, as you can complete within the time period. In later on, as a MPhil or PhD, you can take this topic, or you can minimize this one. So you have to see how much time is required. Your financial consideration. Say for example, a master degree student, instead taking up a particular district or two districts or a particular region, he has taken the whole state. So you have to delimit. If you have taken, say for an example, in Tamil Nadu or in Odisha, but you have to delimit in between, in the limitations, that this is these two districts or these two regions, or these are my areas I am going to conduct in this study. That you have to define there. You have to define that Odisha, say for an example, there are 3 regions. In 3 regions, I have taken one district each in 3 regions, and then which tribes or community or what are your sample that you have to mention. So you have to be very clear there, otherwise you cannot complete. So this is very art. You have to think that not only the interest and enthusiasm is there or competency is required, the time requirement is very important. And administrative conditions, considerations. Administrative consideration what? Say for an example, we just give 15 days for collection of data. So you have to delimit. If it is a PhD, if you are going for quantitative, and you have lots of time. One of my research scholars, she said, sir, at least I should take 30 in my experimental, she's doing experimental research. So not 30. I said it's ideal, that minimum 30. If that particular group which you are going to give intervention or experimentation, that if that particular group is not available, and if you cannot take another institutions, so if there is a 25 or 20, then what is wrong? She said, no, some professor, one of the professors said, no, we cannot take 20 or 25. I said, it's ideally it's 30 or 40 or 50, but you can take also 20 or 25. So there are so many confusion that you have to be very careful while you are selecting a topic, what type of research you are taking, that you have to consider. That problem must be well identified. That problem will speak whether it's a you are going for qualitative or quantitative or mixed one, your problem will speak. So this is the art. When the problem you are taking, you must be very careful, you must be very cautious, otherwise your entire effort will go on waste. You cannot complete. I have seen one of my friend, he took quality of teaching learning in autonomous and non-autonomous colleges in Odisha. So quality of teaching, how you will assess the quality? In what extent? Quality is very, that you cannot define the quality in what extent. You have to define. He has not defined. And he's supposed to take the teaching, learning and status or anything like that. But the quality, but that was not defined and he could not proceed. Then he came. Again, I framed his proposal. Then I just told him how to proceed and design I made. So everything again he started and completed in 9 years. He submitted instead of submitting within 5 years. It is, though it's in old now. Instead of submitting in 5 years or 6 years, he awarded in 9 years. So this is these are some consideration, some precautions we have to keep in our mind while we are selecting a problem or a dissertation topic. Don't be over ambitious. Most of the researchers, beginners, they are over ambitious. They think many things, but how you can conceptualize, how you can fulfill it, that you have to think. Research is not ambitious. You have to keep patience and you have to think minutely, and the topic must be well defined, well stated, and it must be well designed, that what you are going to do, that it must be clear in the title. The title will speak many things. That happens, many of us, we are failed to frame or failed to identify a problem properly or make a good title of the research dissertation, that as a result of that it is sometimes I see many the PhD thesis are not stated properly, the title, and while we are it is taken before I joined here, the topic is approved, but when I see, I found so many mistakes in the topic. It's not a well stated. So nothing to do, already that title is approved. But when we'll upload it in Inflignit, that people will say, see, then what they will think? This is the title, who is the guide, who is the scholar? So be very careful, be very cautious, let it be. Redesign again and again, no problem. You take much time before identifying a problem and write a title or of a dissertation topic, then your work will be easier if your title is clear, if your title is precise, if your title is well defined. So this is all about the art of dissertation. So I hope I could finish in time. If at all anything is there, so we can discuss. You can ask any stuff. Say.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, as you were saying that research must have some social utility, we are discussing about that.
Yeah. Yes.
It is possible in education field, I think so. If I am doing research in English field, suppose I am suppose I am researching on Shakespeare's play,
yeah.
Then how can I make it socially usable to others?
You see that as a literature student, you are analyzing, you are synthesizing, and you are describing whatever is there in a particular play the characters they have played, their role, and the strength and weakness, the challenges in a particular play, and what are the socio-cultural or educational, whatever it is. But it has the particular every play that must be related to nature, that must be related to a romanticism, that must be related to the society, that must be related to the day-to-day life of the people, that must speak is the societal behavior, so or anything else. So no topic that has a value that you have to describe in that way, which that indigenous knowledge or the people, what we express in the literature. The literature is nothing that what we feel, what we see, and what we realize and think, that we demonstrate in our writing. So in that way, you have to see that many people, they may not go through the literature of a particular poet or particular writer. So you have to explain it, you have to elaborate it in different contexts, which may be useful for the readers, instead of reading the whole text or the different write-up of the Shakespeare or the drama of Shakespeare, instead of reading, so he can get what are the different different aspects, or what are the goodness, and how he was, how he has explained, how he has observed the things. Those things you can explain. Not only in education, you see, education field, I belongs to education discipline, so I have given some of the example. Say for an example, if a political science teacher or the scholar, so local government, that how local government runs, what are the attitude of the voters, not voters attitude, just you can say that how they are awareness of the voters. So he can take, and judicial system, he can take a particular topic like that different our government administration, or say for an example, a critical analysis of the administration style of UP and NDA governments. So why not? We can all the you can analyze what are the policies good, how it is implemented, how it reaches to the common people. So in that way you can explain. So every topic has significance, educational significance, or societal significance, or technological significance, or you can say ethical significance, religious significance. So why not? We can do it. That how it is useful. You can at the end of your research, and how you have extracted, how you have explained, that you are writing there. So that must go to the common people, that must go to the reader. They can understand. So it is useful always. Literature, we the people, we now we enjoy literature. Everyone enjoys literature. Even if the science people they write good write-up than the literature people. So you have to, as a researcher, you have to think in what angle, in what context I will explain, or I will understand that particular theme, and criticize and critical analysis I will do, which will be helpful for the common people, for the readers. They will get an idea about the different context of the Shakespeare.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for responding.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Actually, first of all, I'd like to thank you for the answer which you have given with regard to the relevance of literature research. That, in fact, I would like to add on to the point that literature, even though it is literature, it cannot be, being myself a teacher of literature, I don't think, even I have completed my research, and I don't think that literature cannot be read in isolation. Without the social context, we cannot read literature. Even though whether it is Shakespeare or tribal literature or anything, Dalit literature, we cannot read it in isolation. Yeah. I do agree with you. I mean, the way you have explained that.
I'm just giving you one example. you know that one fellow from Sambalpur who has got the name, sorry, what's her name? That a person who sells, who is having a shopkeeper, so that shopkeeper, and he writes many books, and he got award as a from Sambalpur, Haladhar Nag, you might have heard last year. So he has written so many write-up in Odia literature, Sambalpuri literature. So in different contexts, that a girls how she fell in love, that the way they walk while coming from the school, that eye contact with the boys, he has explained. Even if the person who is taking a water in a pot from the bringing the pot from the well, and that he has described. So you just see, this is the art of living, and this is the art of the society, how we live, and he has explained in his literature. So in different ways he has, and the people already 3 to 4 people has been awarded. A person who is only 5th or 6th class pass, and in his literature people have got the PhD degree by critical analysis and translation of those literature. You just see that different aspects that they are analyzing, and they have been awarded PhD from Sambalpur University. So any topic.
Yeah, sir, actually I have a couple of questions to you. The first one is like, how would you like to explain empirical research? Empirical research, that is the first question. And the second one is, could you explain the hypothesis and how to frame a hypothesis? Could you just answer?
You see, generally hypothesis mostly we use in a quantitative one, and research questions we frame in qualitative research. So hypothesis that must be related to your previous studies, what you have got. Hypothesis, what previous studies are there and what is not there, whether your hypothesis, what you are taking, there are some studies which is already there, and some studies, some unquestioned, and that some unexplored things are there, you are not getting. So hypothesis is just tentative solution of a problem that we do, that directional or non-directional, that mostly in you can find mostly in a quantitative. Most of the people now, they are doing null hypothesis. So accept or reject whatever you have statement you have taken. But the thing is that in empirical research, particularly, that requires certain skills for selecting a particular problem. That problem must be based on certain ideas which are already there, but some extents are not explored. Are you clear?
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
Any more? Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yes, good insight. It was a very nice session, and further it's very helpful for me because I'm in that stage only to just finalize my thesis topic.
Yeah.
So basically, I have some question regarding that only.
Okay.
So sometimes I have 2-3 topic in my mind right now, and as we get to know from our professors that just read about the topic of your interest, just select 2-3 topics and read about that, and just confirm one topic from that. So basically, I'm struggling that suppose one topic I'm finding is very much explored, very much researched topic. Like it's meta-analysis already done in 2010, but it's very interesting for me, the topic. Whenever I read research regarding that, I found it very interesting. But as my guide said, this is so much research topic. Means what will you do in that? What gap you will find in that? Something I found is much trending.
You see, that topic may be old. Say for an example, The topic may be old, but all the questions which is arising in your mind while you are studying the literature, many things are not touched, many things are not taken up. So you can take different variables you can use there to make the relationship and or to effects of those variables in that topic. If that topic is interesting to you, then definitely you should take, even though it is research. So you find out that particular topic and you study the literature which is not explored in Indian context or in your local context, or which areas are not covered in that particular topic. Those things you take, and which is still unexplored. You are thinking that we should know, or the relationship, or its effects, or its significance in that context you can take. So the topic may be same, but you can change. Say for an example, I was just discussing today one of the research proposal I'm preparing, early childhood care and education for a particular project. So I had given to my scholar that the same topic, but I thought of to change the topic in different. I had given him that the topic of unorganized and organized sectors. Early childhood care and education of the parents working in organized and unorganized sector. That is my scholar topic. But organized and unorganized sector, there we are not finding the different castes. So mostly the organized and unorganized sectors, that people from low socioeconomic status, the women particularly or parents, they work in unorganized sector. And in organized sector, mostly the educated persons, they work in organized sector. So, but there are many people, those who are work in the fields only, particularly the tribal people, the scheduled caste, they work in their own field or in the different people, that construction work. So what about those? So in the tribe, in the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, I tried to frame my topic that as the PhD scholar has taken this topic and also going to publish in that particular topic. So I change that is the in scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So why not? That is not conducted. I have gone through. No studies are there. Early childhood care and education, particularly in Odisha context of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Even if very few studies are there in early childhood care in Odisha context. There are studies in different states, but there are few. So you have to change the different dimension of your studies, then that topic can be taken, even though many research studies are there, which is not explored, which is not included, which is not covered, and that has a significance that is important to explore, that you can consider in the title, that you can input in that title. Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much. And I have one other question that we have limited time to just confirm our topic. Like in first year, we have to just confirm what topic we are going to select. So in a limited time, we have 3-4 topics in our mind, and we have huge database to read. So how in a limited time we can just get confirmed to one topic by finding the gap,
So
or by finding it?
Yeah. I'm just telling. You can take a review. You can conduct a review research. That is very good. So the topics are there. Just you have to critically review. Say for an example, you can take a within few time, if you would like to, just a case study. What is your subject? I don't know. Discipline.
Human resource development.
What's social science?
Human resource development.
Okay, human resource. Okay, very good.
Organization behavior and human resource.
Operational behavior and management and human resource. So you just see, you just take a particular industry, just a case study that the human resource person managers, that human resource managers is a day-to-day activities and how he runs. That particular, there are so many HR managers, senior manager, junior and assistant managers, so many managers are there. So you just you can go and have a case study of a particular, say for example, Tata Steel, or you can go for Neelachal Industries or any steel industries. So you can conduct the what are the behavioral pattern of that person, how he looks, how he behaves as a manager. So you can just have a case study of a particular institute and particular industry, and you can write up, and it will take very less time. It won't take much time. So you can human resources, just a school, particular school headmaster, you can take his behavior managerial skill. The managerial skill, how you will get the interaction with the faculty members, relationship with the students, routine work completes, how he completes routine works, official works, observation and supervision, monitoring of the class, then financial duties and relationship with the government, state governments. All these things you can do case studies. So very few days you need text. You go for a case study, observe, or you can take a focus group discussion, whatever you can do, and you just come back and write up all this. You take the materials and you analyze. Now you know that different tools are there for analyzing. Also, you can analyze as per your objective and all, and how you have collected the information. So it is not a matter that within how short year we can take. Okay.
Yes, sir. So sometimes we have a confusion that whether the industry professional will entertain us, like so many researchers are there. So will they give their precious time, or will they entertain us? We have some hesitation for
You can go to the bank. Why not? They will entertain. You can go to the bank. Not only, it's not necessary that you will go to the industry only. You can go to a bank. You can go to a factory. Say for example, your milk factory that Omped or any other company, or Amul factory. There are so many employees. How it's running, that you can take some topic that you have to find out what is there and how you have to collect the different information. So the topic you have to identify. Say for an example, that satisfaction, job satisfaction. You are taking a job satisfaction of the employees. So that you can take a job satisfaction scale you can develop, or you can collect a ready-made that standardized test, and you can go standardized tool and you can go and collect particular industry. There are so many persons. You can take a particular industry job satisfaction of a particular, say for an example, Jindal or Rohit or any company. You can go to the pharmaceutical company. There are so many people there. You can also collect their behavioral patterns, everything as a researcher, human resource management. So you have to think. You have to think minorly, and it's an ongoing process. It will work while you work, while you also taking baths. That research topic, how I can identify a problem. It's not like that. Today I thought, again I forgot. When I see my teacher, sir, I could not finalize the topic. Please give me a topic. Sometimes I said to my students, it's not like a toffee or chocolates that I will give it. I will give you, would you manage to complete it? Then I will give you a topic. I asked somebody. First I asked them whether you are comfortable, what is your areas, what is your likings, in which subject you secure good marks, what are the previous knowledge you have, do you have any ideas, could you write the theoretical background? Otherwise, the introductory part also he will copy from here and there. If he is not having some theoretical background of a particular topic, that is very danger. You know now plagiarism is there. Anytime, anywhere you can be red-handed, and you have to lose your job. You can lose a job anytime. So better you do small work. Don't be high ambitious. Small work, a very easy topic you take. Many new things will come up. Bigger you think, But if you do not reach in the destination, your entire effort will go on waste. So we think very critically, but it is not practicable. Sometimes we think. Some people, they give some topic. Sir, globalization effect topic. How you will do globalization? Then in analysis you have to do in a technological context, in sociological context, in a educational context. That you have to know, sir, globalization and its effect. Then I said, how you will measure its effect? That effect in what context, that you have to define. So I see that many topics are very peculiar, very, you can say, source of amusement, that how it can be a research work. Nothing is there. And some photos they have given, many things are given, but at the end, if you read, nothing is there. You cannot find anything. Entire research work you will study, and simply they have given all theoretical concepts, which is already available in the books. Simply they have written objectives, and they have given the findings, whatever already there. So such type of research work is of no use. So you decide a good topic, a well-defined topic, and you take from inference from the theory or any previous your professional experience or from any literature which you feel a felt need, which has significance, which has importance for the common, not only the common people, for the society, for the literature, for the education of the children. It may be a source of joyful learning, that your topics, your findings, that may be joyful for the readers. They will get so many interesting things out of your findings. Okay. Thank you. Any more?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It was very insightful. I have one last question. It's a very short question. For just confirming our research topic, should we go to read for research papers or review paper or thesis, which we get from Sodh Ganga? So basically, we get all the thesis which is uploaded in Sodh Ganga. So what basically we should read to just confirm our thesis topic?
You see, so Sodh Ganga you can study also. That is good. That you can see the particular trends of research in Indian context in different subjects, in your subjects. What are the different topics in previous year it has been studied, or the topics conducted. That can be a source of selection. That you can think of the better, which is not explored, which is not taken, which is not selected. And also in the same time, you can go through the good research journals. And in the, say for an example, a journal is with regard to environment, with regard to sustainability, with regard to education, with regard to guidance, with regard to literature. Such journals, specific journals are there. And the previous issues, if you go, there are some special issues, there are some previous issues. If you go, you can get so many topics. Sometimes I see one of the Springer journal in the educational and vocational guidance. I am a reader, free reader. I read the topics which I feel that this cannot be a research work, but they have conducted, and that too that has been published in researcher. That I deal every day. I deal everything, those things. When I take classes, I cite so many examples. I illustrate the students. All these things, but that never come to my mind that this can be research work in guidance and counseling. So, for an example, many things say that in our early childhood that we observe, but we cannot assume that this may be a profession to that particular child who is doing such work. Say, for an example, he will choose such type of profession in his future. That may not be predicted, but it has been proved as per the different theory of guidance and counseling. So that has been, they have proved. So very simple things, and they are thinking it in different way. But we think, no, it cannot be research work. Very simple thing. We think bigger, but we never come to the conclusion. That is the fault of the Indians. That's why we are not popular in research. Most of the now, our researches are available in the predatory journals, because we are thirst after the API score. in a big resume. One of my friends, I don't want to take the name. He has published more than 150, but never succeed in the life. Appeared so many interviews, having so many degrees, also 20 years of experience, but still working in contractual position or in self-financing college or contractual person. Followed throughout India, has visited Northeast, South and North India, all over. 150 publications, but quality publication is not there. The publications are very poor. And some publication, he does not know how he have done. Just added the name of someone. That many WhatsApp groups are there that I get. That first author, 6,000, second author, 4,500, third author, 3,000, ABDC journal or a Scopus, like this. So if the topic is not mine, if I have not worked, they are telling me, you need not to do any work. Let it be 24 or 25 publications. I have only 25 publications. Only 25. But in a single interview in my life, I joined as a government of West Bengal in a single interview. And this was my single interview, first interview. I appeared here and qualified, joined in the university. So your interpersonal skill is matter. Your content knowledge is matter. Whatever you have done, little work you do. You have to justify. I never saw that I have so many publications. So what is the usefulness of those publications? You just tell me. What the society got? That you have done for your sake. Many people, they may take it otherwise. That is my reality, what I say. What if you teach well, if you dedicatedly teach your students, if you incorporate the new ideas and new innovations and new pedagogy in the classroom, I think that is much more better than copying and pasting and publishing. So my topics, whatever I give, that is very simple. Just I give the Anganwadi workers their job satisfaction. Health awareness of the slum area students. Simple. Simple. Let them. I will give you such a topic, the student will copy and write and submit. So what is the use of that? That difficulties of reading skill, difficulties in reading of Odia medium schools students, particularly English reading. Say for an example in Tamil, that English reading of Tamil medium students. Very simple. Just have a case study. Ask them to read, see it, and rate it. How many students, how they are reading, how they pronouncing. Simple things you just see. Don't think very big things which is not practicable, which is unrealistic. Unrealistic research is not good. So be realistic always. Be realistic always, and definitely your work will be recognized. And whatever you do, you will get satisfaction out of that, even if the topic is very narrow, not very broad, it is very confined, concise, but you are doing the right things that you prove in your title. That title must be there, and your work must reflect on that, that you are doing the right things, and whatever you have done, that you have rightly done, minorly done, judiciously done. That must be the quality of a good researcher. So that is my point. I don't know, some may do not admit in my point, but this is my feelings, what I have realized in my 20 years of experience. And earlier, actually, past 10 years, I have never thought that regarding publication. This last 10 years is a just marathon race for publications among the academicians. So this is very bad practice, I feel. I hope this that API score for this one, that must be abolished, rather than we must have a quality parameter for assessing the individual potentialities, capacities, as well as his content knowledge and pedagogical skills. Those things must be, and do it some outreach activities and collaborations, exchange of teachers. Those things were, rather than it must be consideration for promotions. Simply, I have to rush within the 3 years, so we have to do this much. Within the 5 years, we have to do this much. Just like a farce, like a replacer and orientation course. What I have observed that only few things I have kept in my mind. I have completed in regular mode from different universities, Central University replacer course, 4 replacer course and 1 orientation course. Same will be the case. That human resource is not only confining within 15 days or 20 days replacer course, you will be replaced or you will be oriented. This is only a medium. This is only a way, but it's not the mean. You have to see the alternatives. Your innovation must come in your mind daily, regularly. Your mind must be just like an engine. It must work all the time. How to do the work? So simple things you take. It's my humble suggestion to all the academicians. Though many do not admit, I am not telling that I am correct, whatever I say. But there are also people, they do, particularly in science subjects, there are some people in other subjects, they are doing fantastic research. Particularly, I am telling this arts and humanities, particularly arts, humanities, management, literatures in some people, and that this is very simple, the research work. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your precious time and insightful information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Doctor, good afternoon from Ghana. My name is Harun Ibrahim. I'm a medical practitioner from Ghana. I have a couple of questions to ask you. Before that, thank you for your presentation. Very insightful. Act of selecting thesis topic and a research problem. Yeah, your topic comes with a lot of experience. Yes, and this very topic is one of the many challenges scholars face across the globe, especially master students, PhD students, and first degree students. Yes, and one of the problems too a lot of supervisors like you also experience in terms of selecting a research topic or thesis topic for their students. My question to you is, you listed some characteristics of research topic, which are the research topic should be interesting, 1, 2, it should be researchable, 3, it should be significant, 4, it should be ethical, and then 5, your topic should be manageable. And in your topic has to be manageable, you said it should fit the level of skill or available resources and time restrictions. Good. Yes. My question is, assuming you are a supervisor, which you are, what parameters measures your student skill or your student level of skills? That is in reference to your topic being manageable. Please, do you understand my question?
Okay, very good. Just see, in India, are you from India, sir?
No, I'm from Ghana. I'm in Ghana.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, West Africa, Ghana, West Africa. Thank you.
Yes, sir, I understood. In Indian context, you just see, sir, that mostly the PhD scholars, particularly in state universities and colleges, they do not get research grants. Only those NET qualified students, they get in central universities. But in state universities, NET means a national eligibility test. That is that entry qualification for the conducting research, as well as for entry into service in higher education. And mostly the students, those who do research, they are from well-to-do family, what I have observed since a couple of years. Because the students, those who complete a master degree, they search for a job because job is more important than the research degree. And if you see, if they are not getting grants, then good students having good skills and efficient in different content areas and subject areas are not available for conducting research. And mostly before few years back, simply clearing a NET, that is National Eligibility Test, or JRF, or SLET, State Level Eligibility Test, that is the entry qualification, that means not entry qualification, you can say, that is the minimum parameter what is fixed to you after clearing that one or qualifying that one. You can join in higher education as a lecturer earlier, now it is assistant professor. My point is that if you want the skillful person, that too we must increase our research grants. And many universities, they don't pay research grants to their scholars. Most of the 80% of the universities. Say for example, thousands universities are there in India. So out of 1,000 universities, hardly 100 universities are paying research grant to all its PhD scholars. Then how a PhD scholar will sit and work for 3 years at least and will manage from his own pocket, because the parents, they don't have patience after completion of master degree. They have expectation that my children should earn. So definitely they are not serious about the research work. They are engaged as a part-time somewhere, and simply they are coming and doing the research, or they are just registering and going for 1-2 years. They are not regular, and they are selecting such a topic which they can manipulate everything. So in science, particularly, they have lab subjects. They are doing rigorously. Most of the scholars in India, except few universities, some private universities, they are distributing degrees in terms of paying 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs, or 5 lakhs. That is different things. But in case of government universities, the art students, though they are skillful, but they are unable to do the work in real sense and to utilize their skills and expertise in research because of lack of fund in research. So that is the one problem. And another thing that you know that there is a saying that round nail in the round hole and square nail in the square. If they are not getting the right guides according to their choice subject areas, which they are not getting, sometimes there is mismatch in guide, and they are just going to any persons and getting a degrees. And you know that even if our academic work are too much in India, particularly for taking classes, other official work, hardly we devote time for research for our students. That is another thing where we are not utilizing the expertise and skills in research. So these are the issues which must be taken into consideration by the government. The government of India must think of it and provide assistance to the scholar, irrespective of the nature of institution, maybe state or central institute. But that is a barrier in the process of quality research work in Indian universities. But there are universities, there are institutes, national important institute, there are universities, even if state and central universities, I am telling, they are conducting, they are very good research work, very quality research work are undertaken. That you cannot say, sir, that Indians are not doing quality research. Many are doing, but in the same time, many are misusing, many are manipulating the research work. So that is happening. So it's in everywhere, as you said, in global, it is a global problem. It's not only India, throughout the country as well as in over the continent, you can find the same problem. So this problem may be different, but to some extent you can find there are some relations with regard to research issues. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. My next question is, in reference to your explanation, as a supervisor of a PhD student or a master student,
yes,
before you select or you discuss with your students on a particular research topic or suggested research topic, do you take into consideration, one, the previous research exposure of your students, two, the level of education of that particular student, three, the area of research study, four, the previous challenges encountered by the researcher or the student? Thank you.
Sir, actually, I didn't say that previous research studies, rather the interest areas. Say, for example, in post-graduation, they have completed in our graduation. Nowadays, we have introduced the research work. Earlier times, we had no such rigorous research in graduation, undergraduate level. No, mostly, we do the research at postgraduate level, but we have started since a couple of years in India at undergraduate level. Some research studies are conducted. But my point is that if the students, they have a theoretical knowledge, they have the knowledge of different policies, they have the knowledge of a different subject matter in their particular discipline. So what are their interest areas where they are comfortable? They can think of a problem, they can justify to their research problem. That is my point. Sometimes we must ask also, instead of throwing a problem to the students, you do this work, rather than we must work, what do you like? Where is your interest? What do you think? Which area you are thinking, what you have studied, and where you are good at? Which areas are your interest areas where you need to conduct a research? So that is my point. That is from theoretical background, not from research background. The same research must be repeated. That from the theoretical knowledge, the theories, the policies, the conceptual framework of the student, that must be diagnosed by the teacher, and from there we can identify a research problem. That was my point. So I didn't say that the previous research problem. Yes, previous research problem, if the particular work is conducted and some areas are left out, some areas not covered, that can be also taken up in further research. That can be done.
Okay. In your submission that you made mention that well-to-do family, that is, students who are from well-to-do family do research in India. Is that true? You just said that. Can you please confirm that for me?
Yeah, some extent. Because yes. If they do not, say for an example, if they do not get research grants, then particularly from poor family, they search for any other job. They do not go for PhD because they have to pay, their parents can't pay for another 3 years or 5 years for conducting research. Rather, they go for job, they work somewhere and they do part-time research work. Part-time, not full-time. Part-time means the coursework is there, they are remaining that 6 months, and rest of the time they are staying in their workplace or they are staying at their home and they are doing the work, and they are coming upon to show the teacher, or they are sending through the email the work what they have done, taking suggestions over the telephone, and they are doing this type. These practices are going on since a couple of years.
Good. So, Doug, it means that if you are not from a well-to-do family and the scenario you just gave, it means it will be very difficult for an ordinary Indian student who is energetic and full of knowledge to come out with quality research work. And this is very, very alarming. I think that this is very, very alarming. Doug, what is the average funding a student is required to have to conduct a research in India?
You see, just in our government of Odisha, that they are also paying research grant 15,000 per month to scholars, and that is not to all those who will apply. Their research proposal is granted there, approved there, and the quality of research work they are going through, and they are paying 15,000 per month. That is for 3 years. And the UGC, you know, they are also giving to the socially disadvantaged section, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, as well as single child, a single girl child. They are also giving grant. That is almost 30,000 around. And those who are JRF, those who are qualifying that written test that you know for this, that is a NET and JRF. NET is National Eligibility Test. JRF is Junior Research Fellowship. They are getting 35,000 per month, and that too it can be extended up to 5 years. So these are the facilities available. But in the same time, if someone is not qualifying JRF, simply qualifying NET, and he is not admitted or she is not admitted in a central institute, that means that's sponsored by central government. Many state institute or state government universities, they do not pay research grant to its research scholar. And there are state also, say for an example, Odisha, only few, but in a NET, for the NET qualified candidates, the government of West Bengal, they are paying only 5,000 per month. So 5,000 is not enough for other subjects. Say for an example, for if they have to go move and manage their expenditure, so research grant must be increased, and by the central government assistance or state government assistance for the common people, for the poor people, then only that everyone can research scholars can go for qualitative research, can go for quality research work. So that is my point. But in the same time, IITs are there, IIMs are there, central universities are there, they are getting full fund, and also there are some state universities, they are also providing funds to their research scholars. You cannot, sir, I am not telling that all the students, but it is not universally given. Research grant must be given to each and every scholar as they can stay and go for quality research in their, they can continue with full research grant in their tenure for research work.
Okay, Doc. My next thing is that I am very informed in America, in Europe, in Asia. I'm not too sure about some part of the Caribbean, but in these countries that I made mention of earlier, there are individual lecturers who go for funding, research funding. They individually do it, where they provide this funding to students, prospective students. So, for example, if I want to go and do masters in Europe, in America, I go to their website, look for prospective supervisors, write to them, tell them my research topic that is in tandem with what they do. And if they accept me, I apply, get admission, and then the very supervisor sponsors me and gives me research grants. Is that happening in India?
Yes.
This is what is happening across the globe. Is that happening in India?
Yes, yes. Some institutes are there. Some, say for an example, some research institutes are there. ICAR is there, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Then also there are other research mines, Institute of Mines are there. Different research institutes are there. They provide even if a DST. They also give assistance, financial assistance for individual researcher. For young faculty members also, they give grants. Now also UGC has advertised, the University Grants Commission of India. They have advertised for that is a postdoctoral fellowship, also the senior research fellowship. So there are different fellowships. But if you compare to the population of the country, it's not sufficient. That is if you compare the population of the country and the enrollment in a higher education, it's not sufficient. We need to increase the funds. That research grants which is available in India, that is not sufficient. We must increase not only that funds, also participation of the scholars, that must be there. That the need of power. That many students, many scholars, they are for the sake of PhD degree, they are conducting research for obtaining a degree, just to prefix in the name. Many, not in real sense. That is the reality. That is the reality. Because in order to enter into the higher education, now the PhD is going to become the mandatory one. In university, it has become mandatory, as also in the colleges, it is going to be mandatory in near future. So there is a craze to run after the PhD. That is the notion of the young scholar, that they are running after the PhD, even after paying money. That is the reality. Some institutes, so that those who are not having quality institute, we can say, not having good accreditation, just simply they are making money. That some private institutes are there. And there are also institutes, private institute, they also do conduct a very good research. So if this is a mixed concept in India, there are some good researches are going, and particularly in science, engineering, medicals, medicines, that you can find very good research. In humanities, compared to the human science and other subjects, in humanities, the integrity and that you can say the reliability of the research work, and that is not up to the standard, that is available in all countries. The same is the case also in India. So we need to progress, we need to prosper, we need to give more and more grants, and we need to make the aware of the scholar to conduct good research, as research is the base for progress and development and sustainable development.